Greetings all, and welcome to another episode of Reflecting on Divinity. Today, we will explore the following phrase. Understanding original specifications demands that I adhere to and integrate into my routine life truth and wisdom that originate directly from source. For that is the secret source. At the very start, let us make an important distinction. When I say that originate directly from source, I mean SOURCE, the origin, the foundation, the essence of truth and wisdom. And when I say, for that is the secret source, I mean SAUCE, the defining element that gives something its unique flavor, the final touch that makes it resonate in its fullness. Think of how the right sauce transforms a dish. It enhances, complements, and brings out the best in what is already there. In the same way, our ability to integrate truth and wisdom from source determines the authenticity and impact of what we create and engage with. We won't use fake or inferior ingredients in our food, just as we shouldn't integrate inauthentic or diluted wisdom into our lives. Everything that exists has an original design, a blueprint, a set of specifications that define its purpose and function. When something is used in alignment with its intended purpose, it flows effortlessly. When it is misused or misaligned, there is friction, confusion, or disharmony. This applies not only to objects and creations, but also to ourselves. How often do we force ourselves into roles, beliefs, or paths that are not in harmony with our original specifications? How many times have we abandoned what felt natural to us because we were told it wasn't practical, popular, or profitable? We also need to consider the specifications of not only what blends well with us, but also what works best for whatever we choose to work with. Just as a chef carefully selects ingredients that enhance a dish rather than overpower or distort its essence, we too must ensure that what we engage with complements our purpose. You wouldn't add sand instead of salt to a recipe simply because they look similar. Appearance alone does not determine function. In the same way, we must discern whether what we are incorporating into our lives truly aligns with our essence. Likewise, we should not expect something or someone to seamlessly fill a role just because it is convenient. Too often, we assign tasks or responsibilities based on availability rather than true capability, assuming that willingness or free time is enough. However, just as we must respect the integrity of our ingredients, we must also respect the natural strengths and boundaries of the people and tools we rely on. Working within these boundaries allows for better synergy and ensures that all elements function as they were designed to. To be in alignment with our original specifications, we must adhere to and integrate truth and wisdom into our daily lives. This is not about knowing something intellectually, but about living it, breathing it, embodying it. Wisdom that is not applied remains untapped potential. It is when we consistently bring it into our routines, our decisions, and our ways of being that it transforms us and our surroundings. But how do we know what truth and wisdom to integrate? We must return to source, not external influences or passing threads, but the foundational truth that resonates deeply within us. However, determining irrefutable sources of wisdom and truth can be challenging. From the genesis of time, deception has clouded our perception, and the self-delusion is now more prominent than ever. We live in deceptive times, where the world has been pulled over our eyes, making it all the more necessary to sharpen our discernment and seek clarity in what we accept as truth. But clarity requires humility. We must be willing to question our own assumptions and recognize the biases that shape our interpretations. Are we truly seeking wisdom, or are we gravitating toward what feels comfortable and familiar? True discernment demands that we examine not only external sources, but also the internal filters through which we process information. Only then can we ensure that we are integrating truth rather than personal illusions into our lives. Now let's return to the source, SAUCE. That unique blend that makes something stand out, that makes it complete, that makes it meaningful. Just as a dish is defined by the sauce that enhances it, our creations, contributions, and expressions in the world are defined by how authentically we bring forth what is uniquely ours. The secret sauce is found in aligning with what naturally syncs with who we are at our core. When we deviate from this, when we try to mold ourselves into something that contradicts our essence, we fall out of sync. This misalignment not only disrupts our flow, but also distances us from the discovery and understanding of what our original specifications were meant to be. The more we embrace our natural inclinations, the clearer our path to authenticity and fulfillment becomes. Many assume that to reflect divinity, one must adhere to fixed, rigid structures. But true reflection of the divine is about alignment, not restriction. It is about honoring the inherent truth of a situation, rather than forcing a single framework onto all experiences. To be truly in sync with our original specifications, we must respect the natural flow of what is required in each moment. What is wisdom in one situation may not be wisdom in another. Consider this. If someone's natural talent lay in carpentry, and pursuing it would have led them to become world-renowned for building exquisite dollhouses, They might have found profound success and fulfillment, but due to limited initial perspectives, they might have dismissed the craft as too humble a trade and abandoned it. By doing so, they would have lost not only their natural rhythm, but also the opportunity to discover and fully embrace what their original specifications were meant to be. This serves as a reminder that when we veer away from what is natural to us, we risk losing the very essence of our purpose. Source is not a one-size-fits-all concept. It pertains directly to the subject at hand. A mathematician's source of truth is not the same as an artist's. To integrate wisdom effectively, we must recognize what source applies to the specific situation before us. This is key to ultimate success. Life and its shenanigans are not a one-size-fits-all experience. True wisdom lies in discerning what is relevant to the moment, the task, and the goal. Recognizing and respecting what pertains directly to a subject ensures that we do not dilute or distort the truth required for success. If we attempt to apply a framework universally, we risk misalignment. Mastery comes from knowing not just that wisdom is important, but which wisdom applies where and when. This leads to an example that is deeply personal to me. My grandson, Zahir. Zahir is my first grandchild. He made me a grandmother and held that unique place in my life as my only grandchild for 8 years. The entire book, reflecting on Divinity, a meditative journey using color, was dedicated to my 3 grandchildren, Zahir, Zahir, and Sphinx. I cemented that dedication by choosing a phrase for each of them and including their name in its design. This is Zahir's phrase. Zahir has a significant presence online. He's on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, where he has cultivated a following that is fast approaching 100,000 people. His content at first glance is nothing like mine. It primarily consists of comedy, often a parody on life in Brooklyn. But herein lies the lesson. Wisdom finds expression in different ways. His presence in the digital space reflects the power of resonance. He is in alignment with the wavelength he is meant to operate on. For now, at any rate. Resonance is deeply personal and cultural. What speaks to one person may not resonate with another, and that is precisely its power. Focused and specialized offerings allow individuals to feel a deep sense of belonging, to feel truly at home and understood in a way that broad, generalized content cannot always achieve. What connects with one person may not resonate with another. Different backgrounds, experiences, and environments shape how we perceive and respond to content. More focused or specialized offerings can create a greater impact, fostering a sense of belonging and deeper understanding for those who truly connect with them. For some, his content may showcase the power of humor and relatability, using comedy as a lens to reflect on everyday experiences in Brooklyn. But isn't that in itself a reflection? It offers us a choice to remain at the surface or to dive deeper. His ability to command attention reveals something important. When you are in sync with your original specifications, things align naturally. We must ask ourselves, am I aligned with my original specifications? Am I trying to be something I am not, instead of embracing the truth of who I am? What is my secret sauce? That defining element that makes my life, my work, my presence uniquely mine. To truly explore this, take a few moments for the following. Reflect on something you have always been drawn to, something that has felt natural, effortless, or deeply fulfilling to you. Ask yourself, have I moved away from this? If so, why? Write down 3 core values or truths that feel deeply aligned with who you are. Examine your daily life. Are you living in a way that honors these truths? If not, what small adjustments can bring you back into alignment? Understanding original specifications is not just about us. It is about the things we create, the spaces we move in, and the way we interact with the world. Whether it manifests as wisdom or folly, genius or entertainment, everything has its place. The key is knowing whether what we are engaging with originates from source and is expressed in its truest form. And so I leave you with this thought. Are you honoring your original specifications, or are you diluting your truth to fit an external mold? If this episode has resonated with you, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe so we can continue this journey of reflection together. Until next time, continue to reflect, continue to seek, and above all, continue to align with your truth.